Alright, we're back. It's been a fat minute, but that's okay because we're back. I got requested to do a heel flip trick tip tutorial from a couple people, mainly Branson. I know you're out there watching this at some point. I hope this helps. I'm gonna try and explain it as best as I can. I really like heel flips. It's actually my first flip trick I ever learned. Yeah, it's a really fun trick. It was hard to get the balance down, but I'll explain how to do that right now. A lot of people tend to have this weight distribution problem where they lean way too forward and the board just kind of shoots behind them. You can see this right now. I was just leaning way too forward and the board goes behind me and it just doesn't work out for me. As you can see right here, my weight is more distributed on the board. It's not far over and the board just kind of stays under me when I jump. If you do find yourself having this problem, then you should lean back towards your heels a little bit more. Another problem I notice is that people are trying to roll the heel like over the nose of the board, which doesn't really work. As you can see, I'm trying to recreate this. I'm sure this is probably how I did my first heel flip, but as time went on, I found it way harder to do that than it is to just flick your toe up and like on the nose. And by flick your toe up, I mean like imagining yourself putting your toe through the pocket of the board, like up the nose. You really want to get that good flick with your toe. That will bring your heel through to make the flip happen. It's not in your heel, it starts in the toe. As you can see here, my foot trying to like roll the heel off the side of the board, it just doesn't get the flip very far. It's very hard for me to do, and I just wasn't able to get one that was like really good. Everything just kept going behind me because of the way that if I put most of my foot off of the board, then my weight distribution's off and I'm leaning way too far in front of me, therefore the board is going behind me. By the way, if the board is going behind you, you need to lean back towards your heels and it'll go more in front of you. It'll stay under your feet. Okay, now, so for the heel flip foot position, I'm using an old board for this. I would say, personally, I do it like this because it's been a long time. I've been doing it for like years, at least 2 years now. So what I started with was probably something like this, like foot off the board, maybe even this, but it's not like an end-all be-all thing, so you should definitely play around with it. It's not the end-all be-all. So for me, this, if you pop like this is what I do. So if I'm going to heel flip, I'm popping like this, like this, yeah, like this. I forgot my own foot position. Can't talk either. Okay, so the whole reason behind this is that if I pop here, it gives me leverage on this, on like, so if you pop here, it puts the board already up. You can see it better if I have the board wheel. I actually do have the board wheel. Now, the whole reason behind this as the foot placement is if I pop exactly like this, the board comes toward me when it hits. When it hits the ground, it comes toward me. So I have more leverage to flip the board with my foot. I have a better flick. So it brings the board toward me already, starting the rotation. Now, I do recommend some practice tips. Like Braille does, they'll do like this, right? That's exactly what you kind of want to do. The whole flip situation, the flick situation is exactly like this. I like to act like I'm gonna ollie, so I push this part, like my ollie part, up. I don't try to go and hit the heel immediately. I flick my toe through that part because I know eventually my heel is gonna hit. And then it's just gonna flick. It'll flick for you. So let's say I've got my hand in my shoe. So I'm flicking through the board. See this? At this point, my foot's like this. Bing, flicked. So it goes exactly like trying to bring my toe through this pocket. Bing, flicked. Exactly like that. And you want to practice that with your foot. So just pop the board, stand there, and just flick. And just keep doing it until you get tired. And keep going. Eventually that flick will become muscle memory and you can just add it to your pop. And I do want to point out that you really have to flick your whole foot through the board, like kick your leg out, because that is really going to get that flip. Notice that here I kind of rocket the board because I don't flick my foot enough. You really have to invert your foot to get that good flick. And along with that, you have to push your leg out.